Okay. Okay. All right. So we stopped at number 5, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you for coming on time.
多謝大家準時嚟上課。
And so we will continue. Now, one of the things is in the last discussion, some devotees were saying they want to offer to the picture of Shri Gauranitai.
咁上一次我哋講到咧，就係我哋有啲奉獻者咧會都放啲食物咧俾神像嘅照片。
But my question is, how do they know Shri Gauranitai will accept the offer?
不過我哋問題就係，我哋點樣知道舒舒高胎會接受呢啲供奉咧
？Mostly we go through the Acharyas, our Guru, and Srila Prabhupada.
我哋會通過我哋嘅師療傳承啦，我哋嘅靈性導師啦，聖卡亞巴啦等等。
Because we think we are so advanced that we can tell Gauranitai you take and they will take.
我哋有時會以為我哋係咁進步啊，我哋就同舒舒高胎講啊，你食啦。
So we cannot think like that.
我哋唔應該咁樣諗嘅。
So always it's through the spiritual master or Srila Prabhupada.
咁我哋一定要通過咧，我哋嘅靈性導師啦，同埋聖卡學派。
Which is why I say check with your spiritual master and see if it works.
咁所以咧，我哋話點解上一堂我哋講到咧，就係我哋要向我哋嘅靈性導師詢問，然之後咧就等佢哋去決定。
No problem, Maharaj. All right, so number 6, we'll go to number 6 now.
咁我哋而家講第6點。
One must worship the deity in the temple according to the regulated principles, offering arati and foodstuffs, decorating the deity, etc.
咁就必須依照規範原則規範原則崇拜神像，包括進行供奉食物、裝飾神像等。
Generally, when you are worshipping the deity in the inner sanctorium, that means the deity's place, one need to be second initiate, Brahman initiate.
咁一般嚟講咧，如果我哋喺正式嘅廟堂喺神壇嗰度去，亦都係去為神像服務嘅話咧，咁咧就嗰個奉獻者咧必須要得到第2次婆羅門嘅啟迪。
But if you're not Brahman initiated, you can still clean the temple room, you can do decoration of the temple, and in some temples, even first initiates cook for the deities, although it's not the best standard. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can...
就好似咁，但係咧，就算未第2次啟迪咧，咁亦都奉獻者亦都可以咧，係譬如喺廟堂嗰度咧，就係為神像佈置啊、佈置廟堂啊等等。咁有啲地方咧，就好似香港咧，就第1次啟迪之後嘅奉獻者咧，都可以為神像煮飯。
Right, so it's not so difficult. You don't have to be a pujari, then only you can worship the deity.
咁並唔係話你一定要有一個祭司咧，先可以崇拜神像。
Everything is an expansion of the deities. The kitchen is an expansion. So similarly, Harinam, Kirtan, book distribution, they're all expansions.
咁其實每樣嘢都係神像嘅擴展嚟嘅。譬如我哋派書啦，我哋去 Harinam 啦、Kirtan 啦等等啦，呢啲都係。
Yeah, but deity worship itself, worshipping the Archa Vigraha requires certain standards, and therefore you have to be Brahman initiated.
咁但係咧，如果我哋真係崇拜神像，即係神像呢個形象，即係崇拜 Krishna 係通過神像呢個形象嘅話咧，咁樣係要有一定嘅標準嘅。咁所以咧，點解需要咧個奉獻者需要第2次啟迪落先可以做
？Okay, number 7, one must render personal service to the deities.
咁第7點咧就係我哋咧必須要親自服務神像。
So it could be anything. It could be directly on the altar service, or you could buy stuff for the deities.
咁呢個可以係直接喺神壇上面為神像做服務咯，亦都可以譬如係間接，譬如我哋買啲食物供奉俾神像都係嘅。
Or you can sponsor the deity outfit.
或者你贊助買呢個神像嘅新衫。
Or you can buy paraphernalia for the lordships.
你亦都可以買一啲咧係神像用嘅一啲嘅用具用品。
So many things you can do, you can buy silver plates, so you can buy oils, you can buy ghee, you can buy boga, so many things.
好多好多嘢，你可以買 boga 啦，你可以買酥油啦，你可以買其他譬如香油啊等等，呢啲都可以嘅。
But of course, personal direct service is always nice, but that you must want to do it, not just you take Brahmin and then don't do any service.
咁所以呢個為神人親身服務永都係好嘅。咁就所以咧，如果係第二次解釋咗之後咧，就唔好話唔做呢個神像服務。
What was that? Oh, to the deities. All right. So yeah, is that clear about personal service?
咁對呢個為神像親身嘅服務，大家有冇問題咧？
Okay. Number 8, one must sing, chant, offer prayers, recite notable prayers, and perform Sankirtan.
咁第8咧就係必須歌唱啦、吟誦啦、禱告、背誦重要禱文並進行Sankirtan齊頌聖名。
So all these are done for the pleasure of the deities.
呢個咧都係為咗取悅神像而做嘅。
Yeah, so if you know some songs, you can sit down and sing some special prayers from the acharyas.
咁如果你識唱啲讚歌，你可以坐喺神像面前唱啦。如果你亦都可以念誦一啲聖聖導師嘅禱文。
Very few devotees do this.
咁其實好少奉者會咁樣做。
Actually, these are all very intimate things. When you sing for the deities, you are creating a relationship with the deities.
但係如果你為神像唱歌嘅話咧，其實呢個係可以見到一個好親密、好個人嘅關係。
All devotees must learn to do this. Then you'll have a wonderful, relationship, closeness to the deities in the temple.
咁每一個奉者都要學習咁樣做啦。如果係咁嘅話咧，你要同神像建立一個好親密啦，同埋非常之緊密嘅關係。
Similarly, if you look at the Srimad Bhagavatam and there are different types of prayers, you can memorize those prayers and you can offer those prayers to the Lord.
咁喺聖經國家上邊亦都有好多非常之美妙嘅禱文啦，咁你可以讀啦，亦都可以記住佢呢啲禱文咧，然之後咧就係可以念誦俾神像聽。
Of course, the best way to please the deities is to go out on book distribution.
咁但係最能夠取悅神像嘅服務咧，就係出去派書。
Okay. All right. Number 9, one must taste Mahaprasada.
第9個咧就係我哋必須要品嚐咧 Mahaprasada。
That means the boga that's offered on the plate to the deities is considered Mahaprasada.
咁咧就係就係即係親自係拎供奉俾神像嗰個碗入邊嘅食物。
In many temples, they separate the Mahaprasad from the prasad that's cooked in the kitchen.
咁好多廟堂咧，佢哋會將供奉俾神像嘅 Mahaprasad 啦，同埋喺供奉即係其他嘅食物咧 Prasad 咧係分開嘅。
That means they do not, although it's cooked, all the boga is cooked in the kitchen, they do not mix it after offering.
咁咧雖然係啲食物都係喺廚房嗰度煮嘅，咁但係咧供奉完之後咧，佢嗰啲 Mahaprasad 咧同其他嘅 Prasad 咧就唔會撈翻埋一齊。
But there are other temples who do mix it all up.
咁但係有啲廟堂咧就會將佢撈埋一齊。
But actually, you shouldn't mix it.
咁但係唔應該撈埋嘅。
Because it's considered Mahaprasad. Prasad.
嗰啲咧，因為嗰啲直接喺神像個
yeah.
喺神像即係真係直接喺神像個碗入邊嗰啲咧就叫 Mahaprasad 啦，而其他嗰啲咧就係普通嘅 Prasad。
But if it's a practice that's done here, then it's okay.
咁但係如果譬如我哋呢度做法係咁樣，就都冇問題嘅。
Yeah.
How do you get to taste Mahaprasad?
You know the pujari.
You ask the pujaris, like they put out the fruits and yeah.
Okay, so I have.
咁我哋點樣先可以品嚐咯？Mahaprasad 咧就係你要問個祭司。
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So we go to
The fruit plates actually after 4:30.
yeah.
Mahaprasad, they're all Mahaprasad.
Yes. And the water,
Yes, the water is all right.
So we should not. We are not supposed to take directly from that plate, right?
No. 我哋係咪
transfer.
我哋係translate 我哋係咪我哋唔可以直接由嗰個神像嘅碗嗰度食嘅咁。
Yeah, you have to transfer it before you don't eat from the plate of the deities.
咁我哋唔會喺神像嘅碟嗰度嗰隻碗嗰度食嘅，咁我哋要將佢轉咗落另外一啲我哋即係供奉，即係我哋派 prasad 嗰啲碗碟嗰度。
Yeah. This.
Do you mean that after cooked and we pick something to offer to the deity, and then we cannot mix with the bulk?
I didn't say you cannot mix. I said you should not mix.
You should not.
Should not.
Not can.
咁個問題就係即係想澄清係咪就我哋煮完一堆 prasad 一堆供奉啦，咁我哋分一碗落去神像嘅碗嗰度，跟住供奉。咁供奉即係真係喺神像嘅碗嗰度供奉嗰啲，同埋剩翻嗰啲食物係咪唔應該撈埋咧？係唔應該嘅，但係可以，但係唔應該。
We don't. So what about the balance of the bulk quantity? If we don't.
No, they are considered prasadam already. Yes. As long as you offer, it becomes prasad. But the plate that was offered to the Lord is called Mahaprasad.
即係真係拎入去喺神像面前食嗰一碟咧，就係我叫 Mahaprasad。咁但係其他嗰啲冇拎咗入去，但係一齊煮嘅嗰啲咧，就係亦都係已經即係如果供奉咗俾神像之後咧，嗰啲都係已經係供奉咗嘅食物，已經係 prasad 啦。
就係叫做 prasad，唔係 Mahaprasad。
Wait.
安排喎。
So that means the one who offered and not mixed with the bulk quantity, that is called Mahaprasad.
Yes.
Yes.
So the one who's not, there's a balance. The balance was not offered, that's his prasad.
No, they all offered already.
This is Mahaprasad.
Yeah. Yes.
Prasad.
Yes.
Consider offered.
Yes.
Okay.
大家清楚啦嗬，即係嗰隻。
You asked.
Let me translate 咁咧就係頭先啱先仲有即係澄清，即係要搞清楚啦，就係我哋煮完之後，等到神像碗嗰度拎入去喺神像面前供奉，跟住咧倒翻出嚟嗰個咧就係 Mahaprasad。咁而其他啲咧喺個大箱入邊，我哋冇拎入去嘅，但係咧因為有部分已經拎咗入去供奉啊嘛，嗰啲咧就算冇拎入神像房嗰啲咧都係 prasad，已經係供奉咗啦。係啦，但係就唔係叫 Mahaprasad。第二個已經係 prasad，第二個應該係如果先把隻狗喺度啦。
No worries.
係其實。
How about the one box of milk? It will only offer half of them, and the rest of the milk should be called prasad.
No, it's different.
It's different conception.
Yes, like sweets, daily sweets.
Yeah. 咁即係嗱，咁譬如有一公升牛奶，咁我哋倒一杯出嚟呢個供奉，咁剩翻嗰啲係咪已經供奉咗咧？咁就唔係嘅，呢個概念唔一樣嘅，係啦，即係好似神像堂咁，我哋做咗100粒出嚟，我拎2粒過去，咁剩翻98粒唔係供奉咗，冇供奉嘅。
Like when you make a lot of sweets and then you want to use it for the whole week, right? So then in your mind, you only want to offer some of it. And that's different from when you're cooking for the whole crowd to eat at the same time.
咁因為譬如我哋做神像堂，我一次過做好多嘅，咁我哋係成個星期用嘅，咁但係每次只係供奉我2粒、3粒、4粒咁樣先算啦。咁淨係拎入去供奉嗰啲咧，先係供奉咗，其他嗰啲咧係唔同嘅，即係我哋嘅心意入邊知道係有分別嘅。咁同我哋平時譬如煮100人嘅飯，咁我拎一碗入去供奉，咁剩翻嗰啲咧都係已經係供奉咗，因為我哋係一次過派出嚟嘛，係啦，都係 呢個係我 Richard 係意思。
I was seeing one documentary of National Geography over the ISKCON's mega kitchen during the parikrama of the Govardhan during the Kartik. So in that documentary, they show that they offer the small quantity and they were cooking for very large quantity and they mix it up. The Mahaprasad with the remaining food stuff.
Yeah. So what is your point?
So what is my understanding of this discussion is this: we are not supposed to mix the offered Mahaprasad with the remaining food stuff.
I didn't say you're not supposed to.
So you should
You
not,
not,
you should
but
not.
you can.
You can.
Can,
咁
not really can.
咁，因為我要講翻問題，咁法國夫嘅問題就係佢睇過一個紀錄片咧，就係講述咧，就係喺哥布丹好多人一齊繞拜哥布丹嘅時候咧，咁佢哋有啲流動嘅廚房，佢哋咧就煮好多人嘅午餐啦。咁佢哋就會供奉咗之後，就將佢倒翻落去剩翻嗰啲嘅食物嗰度。咁係咪唔應該唔可以咁樣做咧？咁其實我之前都講過就，我哋唔應該咁樣做，但係可以咁樣做。Actually, in Hong Kong, we often do it something with that.
That's okay. I didn't say you can't do it.
係啦，
I said it's not the best standard.
呢個唔係話我哋咁樣做係絕對唔可以，但係就唔係最好嘅做法咯。
Do the same rules apply also when you're offering at home?
Always.
It's the same.
Yeah.
We
咁
should not
個
mix
問題
it.
就係我哋
Yeah, but you are one person, so
Because we make sometimes I make extra, so if I'm having same thing for lunch and dinner.
so then you are one person, no? It doesn't matter in your case.
咁，譬如我哋只有
But if there are more people, then I should not.
Well, like temple situation is different. Mahaprasad is directly from a plate. But you're one person, you have Mahaprasad and you have one pot. You're going to eat it together, right? Right? Yeah.
咁譬如個情況喺屋企咁點咧？喺屋企得你一個人嘅話，咁你供奉完之後嗰個 Mahaprasad，你係咪都一齊食？即係你都會一齊食嘅啦。咁所以其實撈唔撈埋就冇乜大分別嘅嚇。即係如果你屋企嘅情況。
Of course, you don't have to
Yeah.
mix it. You can keep another plate, but then when you're eating, you can put it back in your.
咁當然啦，你個
Yeah.
Mahaprasad 就你屋企你都係分開嘅。咁但係你當你食嘅時候，你都會將喺隻碗度倒翻落你自己嘅碗度。咁其實係即係咯一樣。
Same thing.
Yeah.
But then should keep that in mind when we have more people in the house.
That's up to you. If you want Mahaprasad special, there is this. When you go to like Vrindavan and so on, people pay, right?
Yeah.
They give money and say, I want the thali,
Yeah.
Mahaprasad thali. Then they can just go and will take from the kitchen and give you something. They don't. They bring the actual thali to you.
咁所以咧喺一啲大廟嗰度啦，你係可以訂 Mahaprasad 嘅，譬如 Vrindavan 咧，你可以有個 Mahaprasad box 咁大個嘅嚇，夠5個人食嘅。咁你真係俾錢咯。咁所以咁如果你真係咁樣做嘅話咧，咁鳳姐就唔會喺廚房度求其畢啲嘢俾你，佢就真係喺神像面前供奉嗰啲就成個俾你咯嚇，咁就有啲唔同咯。
Yeah, so you can do here also. If people sponsor, you can give them the Mahaprasad.
咁譬如就算喺香港都係啦，我哋平時唔係咁做啦，但係譬如有人係贊助嚇你爭飯嘅，咁你可以真係分開嗰個 Mahaprasad 就將落個等落個盒度，跟住俾嗰個人咯。佢先。
Sorry to ask you again. But this statement you should not, but you can slightly more friendly.
What is your confusion?
個問題
You should not, but you can.
Don't do it.
個問題係頭先帕夫話你唔應該咁樣做，但係你可以咁樣做。咁 Richard 老師佢話覺得好更加混亂。咁究竟係點咧？
Okay, there's a standard. But the standard doesn't mean you must only do that. It's not like you're breaking a principle.
咁我哋有呢個標準啦。咁但係咁雖然我標準係咁樣，但係唔係話你一定你要咁樣做。你唔做咧就係唔跟一啲主要嘅原則。
Any
The
reason?
best standard you have, and you have to follow that standard. If you can't follow, then you do what you can follow, right? Some people want to do that, but actually they shouldn't be doing like this, but they want to do it. It's not like the end of the world.
咁我哋有個最好嘅標準啦。咁當然你如果做唔到嘅，你將個標準降低啲，跟住你做到呢一個，咁唔好話唔得嘅嚇。咁所以我哋話唔係話你做唔到就係世界末日唔得啊，咁就唔係嘅。
He still hasn't finished.
So suppose I bought some banana from bunch of the from store.
Yes.
Offer those bananas, so the whole store banana is will be coming as a prasadam in the.
But that's not what we are talking about.
So that's why I'm saying that I'm lost. I
個問題係，譬如我喺個鋪頭度咧買一梳蕉翻嚟供奉啦，咁我供奉呢梳蕉之後，係咪成個士多嘅鋪頭嘅香蕉都已經供奉咗咧？咁其實呢個問題咧就同頭先我講嘅嘢咧冇直接關係嘅。
There's a difference between we are talking about Mahaprasad and Prasad.
Yeah.
You're talking about store-bought and offering in the temple.
咁
What is it?
我哋頭先講嘅就係 Mahaprasad 同埋一般 Prasad 嘅分別啦。咁而頭先個問題就係話係我哋喺個士多度買香蕉，同埋我哋喺廟堂供奉，咁其實係兩個完全唔同嘅處境嚟嘅。
Generally, in offering, you can decide before you offer, I'm going to offer the whole 10,000 bananas to Krishna, but I can't bring 10,000 on the altar. So I'll take some and offer. Everything will be prasad, but still, thus that which was offered is called Mahaprasad.
咁譬如我想供奉俾 Krishna 1萬隻香蕉咁先算啦。咁我哋唔可以將1萬隻香蕉搬上個神壇上面噶嘛，於是我就攞呢隻出嚟就等上神壇上面供奉。咁所以咧，如果你嘅心水係咁樣嘅話咧，呢1萬隻香蕉咧，基本上當你供奉完俾神像之後，呢1萬隻香蕉都係已經供奉咗，就係 prasad。而拎入去神壇嗰幾隻咧就係叫 Mahaprasad。
The point is you bought the banana, but you didn't buy all the banana. You paid for only some banana.
個重點就係你買一啲香蕉，但係你唔係買晒所有嘅，即係嗰個店入邊所有嘅香蕉。
So those that you bought is yours to offer. Those you didn't buy is not yours.
買嗰啲就係你要供奉嘅香蕉啦，你冇買到嗰啲根本就唔係你嘅，咁所以亦都係冇供奉嘅。
Think about it.
Yeah, I haven't started offering, but I do see some devotees' house, they have little trays to offer.
Okay, you haven't started offering.
No.
You
But
don't know how to offer.
But do I eat this?
Let me ask you first.
Yes.
Have you ever offered anything?
No.
Okay, then first you need to learn how to offer.
How do I know what it
You
is?
wait, then you will learn. I will make sure.
Okay, thank you.
So I understand this is a standard, but in ISKCON, whatever we do, there's some reason behind. What's the reason behind it? Shouldn't.
咁Mark 問題就係話我哋知道呢個係個標準啦，咁但係我哋喺 ISKCON 入邊咧，通常我哋做一樣嘢，呢個標準咧都有個原因嘅。咁點解要咁樣咧？
Because it's not Mahaprasad.
因為其他嗰啲唔係 Mahaprasad。
It should not, because this is specially offered in front of the deities, and so it should be honored separately.
咁因為 Mahaprasad 就係話就係嗰啲直接喺神像面前供奉嗰啲係特別嘅，咁所以咧就係應該分開嚟到去榮耀。
It's very simple. I don't know why you all are confused.
I for an example, actually, when I was in Manila, they serve prasadam to all the devotees in the prasadam hall, but they separate the Mahaprasad in a special tray. And then when you pass through, you got your prasadam. At the end, they serve the Mahaprasadam. We can usually they will give you 1 or 2 preparation, and then you can pick. So everyone has some Mahaprasadam.
Every temple,
Yeah.
I mean, many temples
Yeah,
do that.
Yeah.
And later.
Yeah，咁其實好多大廟咧，佢哋就會點樣做咧？佢哋就會將啲 Mahaprasad 咧就等落另外一個 tray 嗰度分開嘅。咁當佢哋 serve Prasad 嘅時候咧，佢就會一般地嗰時就會攞晒所有 Prasad 咯。到最尾咧，佢咧就去到 Mahaprasad 嗰個 tray 前邊咧，就會俾1、2個，即係少少啦，即係一人少少咁樣咯。 咁就等每一個人咧都可以咧有分到咧貓 prasada。
Yeah, I get it now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think you all need to eat more prasad.
即係大家需要食多啲 prasada。
Then you all will understand this.
咁我會咧睇一 prasada 你就會
Okay, number 10.
OK。
One must drink. Oh, next page. One must drink charnamrita.
咁第10點咧，就我哋必須要飲用咧係神像沐浴嘅聖水。
Okay, generally, charnamrita means the water we bathe or and the other liquid items we pour on the deity.
咁呢個係咩咧？就係我哋從神像沐浴嘅水啦，同埋其他嘅一啲嘅用品。
And charan means the lotus feet. So charnamrita means the water goes all the way to the lotus feet, and then we take that.
Charan 啊，就係蓮花粥啦。咁呢個即係話咧係嗰啲液體咧，或者水咧，就係淋個神像去到去蓮花粥嗰度嘅水嘅液體。
Okay. Clear?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one question. I was told actually when we are fasting, taking charan is not considered breaking fast, right?
Yeah, but you're supposed to take only 1 drop or 3
You-
drops. Yeah.
Okay. Like for example, Nija Ekadasi, we can still take, right? For Nija Ekadasi, we can still take.
Yeah, just 1 or 2 drops. I
Okay.
think 3 drops is maximum.
OK 咁我個問題就係我哋譬如我哋斷食嘅時候，譬如好似呢張而家嘅時候，我連水都唔飲嘅時候，咁飲呢個神像沐浴嘅水係咪係可以咧？即係唔算係打破個斷食咧？係嘅，不過咧只可以係最多3滴，最可以1滴。
Yeah, the charnamrita, in like some temples, they have milk, they have yogurt
Okay.
and so on, honey and so on. But in other temples, they just have water only.
咁有啲廟堂咧，佢哋淨係得水嘅，有啲咧就會係水啦，加蜜糖啦，加乳酪啦，撈埋一齊。
And so when some devotees like Nirjala Ekadasi, they won't take it. They take the 3 drops and put it on their head.
OK。
Because it's water you sprinkle on the head.
Mm.
Same.
咁所以咧，譬如係呢張而家嘅時咁樣啦，譬如假設啦，鳳姐係連水斷埋水嘅，咁佢咧就嗰個就佢唔會飲嘅，佢咧就喺個緊隻手度，跟住就掃喺個頭嗰度。
Yeah, but if you have yogurt and all on your head, then
但係如果嗰個像 Mixer 咧係有 yogurt 啊有奶嘅話，就唔係咁好咯，整個頭。
so some devotees won't even take that. They will just honor.
嗯
They just respect, but they won't take for that day.
咁有啲人咧，甚至咧就係佢哋唔飲嘅，咁咧就淨係佢哋會榮耀啦，跟住冥想啦，但係就唔係真係等到個口度。
Okay. Number 11, one must smell the flowers and incense offered to the deities.
咁咧就係第11點就係必須咧要聞供奉俾神像嘅花環啦，同埋香。
Hopefully the flowers they smell.
嗯，咁啊最好就係啲花係有香味啦。
And some, I think in Mayapura, they do put some perfume, like they spray and then they offer.
OK， 咁咧係有啲廟堂咧，譬如馬來葡咧，佢哋會喺啲花上面噴啲香水啊，咁然之後
Yeah, I think you can check and find
咁
out.
大家可以問清楚先。
Yeah, I know in some temples they spray some rose water or something because the flowers have no fragrance. Yeah.
咁啊，因為好多花都完全冇香味啦，咁所以有啲廟堂咧就會噴啲香水，譬如或者玫瑰水落去先，然之後先供奉。
Generally, when you go to the temple, you can smell the incense.
咁一般嚟講，你去到廟堂，你就會聞到呢個點香嘅嗰種香味。
Yeah, but too much of the incense is also not good for the health.
咁但係咧，如果太多香嘅話咧，就即係點樣太多香、太多煙嘅話咧，就對我哋嘅健康唔係咁好。
Yeah. Luckily, you're only using 1 stick every time.
咁我好彩喺香港，我就全部用1支。In the past is 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah.
咁以前就用3支嘅，不過而家就用1支。
Yeah, because like in the Buddhist temple, they have big incense.
咁喺譬如一啲佛廟嗰度咧，佢哋嗰啲香係非常成屋柱咁樣，非常之大嘅。
And they found that many of the monks in the Buddhist temple have lung problems or lung cancer.
咁後來就發現咧，好多喺呢啲寺廟入邊嘅啲和尚咧，佢哋就有肺病啦，即係肺嘅毛病啦，或者甚至係肺癌。
Okay, number 12, one must touch the lotus feet of the deities.
咁第12就係我哋要觸碰神像嘅蓮花足。
Yeah. And this is only for those who are pujaris here.
咁咧只係祭司咧可以咁樣做。
Yeah. Or if you have your own deities at home, then you can.
咁如果你屋企有自己嘅神像，亦都可以咁樣做。
Okay. 13, one must see the deity with great devotion.
咁咧就係我哋要懷住非常之強嘅奉愛咧嚟到去睇神像、緊見神像。
You can only do this if you cultivate a relationship with the deities.
咁只有只係咧，當你同神像建立咗一個關係嘅時候，你先可以咁樣做。
If you read nicely, Srila Prabhupada's books, if you chant nicely, this automatically will come. The bhava will come.
如果你能夠好好念誦啦，亦都係閱讀聖巴巴嘅書啦，咁呢個 bhava 咧就呢個奉愛咧就會出現，自動會出現。
You must see the deity as a person, just like you are.
咁我哋咧必須要視神像係一個人，就好似我哋咁。
And you must be able to have that emotions and in your heart to have a connection with the Lord.
咁我哋咧必須要有呢一個喺我哋嘅心入邊咧，有同神像建立呢個關係嘅呢個情感。
Usually I feel, may not be for all cases, but if you are very distressed or hurt, then when you come to the deities, you have more connection.
一般即係我嘅觀察就係咧，當你如果你係受傷害啦，或者你好痛苦嘅時候咧，你去到神像面前咧，你就更加可以咧係感受到同神像嘅關係。
When you're very helpless, then you can see the Lord.
當你好無助嘅時候咧，你就可以見到神像。
So then you can develop closeness to the Lord.
咁你就可以咧同神像咧變得更加親密。
Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, I think verse 15, where they said the 4 types of people who approach the Lord. So distress, looking for wealth, knowledge, and trying to understand the Lord. Yeah.
咁喺《過家梵》第7章嘅第13節咧，就講到有4類人咧會去揾至尊主啦，痛苦嘅人啦，尋求財富嘅人啦，好奇嘅人啦，同埋尋找呢個超然知識嘅人。
So what it means is mostly people come to see the deities for these reasons.
咁即係話咧，大部分嘅人咧嚟到去見神像咧，都係因為呢啲原因。
Right? Do you wonder what people are praying to the deities? Yeah.
大家有冇諗過人咧係向神像係祈禱得到啲咩咧？
Right? Are they asking for money or are they asking for health?
咁啊，
Yeah.
佢哋可能會佢哋係咪請求神像俾錢佢哋啦，或者俾健康佢哋？
Yeah, the best standard again is you don't ask for any of this. You ask for service to please them.
咁咧最好最標準嘅祈求咧，就希望神像咧會祈求神像就同佢講我點樣能夠取悅你咧？你可以俾啲服務俾我。
It is not easy because you will be tested and with difficulties in your life. So when you come in front of the deities, what will you ask?
咁但係呢個一啲都唔容易嘅，你會遇到啲困難啦，遇到啲挫折啦、痛苦啦。咁當喺呢啲處境之下，你面對神像嘅時候，你會希望神像俾啲咩你咧？
Yeah, sometimes if you are so emotionally overwhelmed, you come and cry and say, I want you to help me. So it's possible.
有陣時有啲人有陣時奉獻者係好情緒好波動啦，咁佢嚟到見到神像嘅時候，甚至會喊啦，跟住就會喊。
Yeah. So try to, look at the deity with devotion.
咁所以我哋要學習點樣充滿奉我嚟到去謹見神像。
That means you are very happy and pleased to see the Lord.
咁即係話咧，我當我哋見到主嘅時候係好開心嘅。
Okay. Number 14. This is quite straightforward. One must regularly hear about the Lord and his pastimes from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and similar books.
我哋要恒常咁咧係去聆聽至尊主啦，同佢嘅逍遙時光。咁咧就係通過國家梵歌啦、聖典國家集啦、佢哋啲主有反譯經啦，同埋其他等等嘅書籍。
So Srila Prabhupada therefore encourage everyone to read Krishna book every night before you sleep.
係鼓勵每個奉獻者咧，每晚臨瞓之前咧係讀 Krishna book， Krishna 教學的泉源呢本書。
I actually read every night, except when I'm traveling. Then
咁我通常咧每晚咧都會讀書嘅，除咗就係當我喺度旅行嘅當中。
yeah, that way you become very familiar with the Lord, who he is, how does he do certain things. You recognize, you understand him.
咁當我讀書啦，我就會同至尊主變好熟悉佢啦，我哋知道佢點樣睇個形象係點啦，佢中意啲乜嘢啦，佢消離時光啦等等。
Okay. Number 15, one must pray to the deity for his mercy.
咁第15就係我哋要向神像祈禱啦，係得到佢嘅仁慈。
Yeah, it's very similar to the devotion. Devotion means you have affection.
Yes.
Mercy is you want the Lord to help you and make advancements.
咁神像嘅仁慈就係呢個咧，我哋祈求主咧係可以令到我哋咧喺靈性嗰度得到進步。
Like you can say, please allow me to taste your holy name.
咁譬如我哋可以同神像講啦，求你令到我可以品嘗你聖名。
Allow me to chant your holy name properly without inattention.
求你令到我咧能夠係專注咁樣念誦你嘅聖名。
Okay. All right. So number 16, one should remember and meditate upon the deity.
咁第16就係必須憶念同埋冥想住神像。
That means not everyone comes to the temple every day. So they should remember the deity or look on the internet, live cast or whatever and see, oh, that's how the deities look today.
咁咧唔係每一個奉獻者都可以每日嚟到廟堂啦。咁我哋可以就係都要記憶住神像啦，或者通過internet 啦，就睇神像今日係點樣樣嘅咧。
Remember, we are supposed to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna.
咁我哋咧要恆常都要記住 Krishna 啦，永遠都唔會忘記佢。
Number 17, one should render service, taking all kinds of risks and perform all endeavors for Krishna's benefit.
咁第17就我哋要承擔一切嘅風險啦，竭盡所能為 Krishna 嘅榮耀而服務。
Maybe the outfit for Shishi Gonitai did not come from India. So one of you book a flight, go to Vrindavan, pick the outfit, take another flight hoping to come before Janmashtami.
我哋喺 Vrindavan 訂咗嘅神像嘅新衫冇送到嚟喎。咁於是有同嘢就好啦，我就買機票飛去印度嗰度，飛去 Vrindavan 攞翻嚟。咁希望咧就能夠咧喺 Janmashtami 之前咧係將件新衫送翻嚟。
Because this is you're giving up your time and everything to make sure the Lord has his outfit.
咁即係話呢個奉獻者咧犧牲咗啲時間咧、金錢啦，嚟到保證咧神像係喺 Janmashtami 嘅時候係有新衫。
Yeah, you're giving up your comfort zone.
我哋咧放棄我哋舒適嘅位置。
Like it's not comfortable. Okay. All right. So yeah, taking all kinds of risks.
咁我哋要承擔一切嘅風險。
Number 18, one must offer everything to the Lord.
咁第18就我哋要供奉一切嘅嘢，所有嘢俾神像，係俾主。
That is the highest standard.
呢個咧係最高嘅標準。
Yeah, but most people cannot offer everything.
咁大部分人都唔可以嘅。
If you cannot offer everything to the Lord will take away everything slowly.
但係如果我哋唔係將所有嘢都供奉俾至尊主咧，主咧亦都會慢慢咁樣將我哋所有嘢拎走。
At the end of your life, you can't take anything with you.
咁去到我哋生命盡頭嘅時候咧，根本咩嘢都拎唔走，
He takes away.
佢已經所有嘢都拎走晒。
So better to give him and he's happy than he takes away from you.
咁所以咧，與其係咁嘅話咧，不如我哋自己供奉俾至尊主咯，好過咧係至尊主係攞走我哋嘅嘢。
But it doesn't mean you give everything and live in the streets. Yeah.
咁但係唔係話咧，你所有嘢供奉俾主之後咧，你就瞓喺個街嗰度。
Yeah, that's not what it means.
咁我哋即係呢度所講嘅意思並唔係咁樣。
It means you give whatever you have that you can give to the Lord, whatever you value that you can offer the Lord.
咁即係話我哋能夠俾至尊嘅，我哋就俾至尊主嚇，或者一啲係你好珍惜嚇，你覺得好有價值嘅嘢。
That means even if you in your home, the house you live, you give it to the Lord. It's His. You're just using it for purpose of preaching or inviting people to your home like that. Yeah.
咁譬如你屋企咧，你可以將呢個屋企供奉俾神主，咁就係你可以邀請奉獻者嚟你屋企啦，亦都可以咧係做啲傳教嘅活動。
It also means that you have written a will now that everything is going to Sri Gonita.
咁你都可以立一個遺囑，就話咧所有嘢咧都會俾晒書俾晒。
Yeah, can you do it?
可唔可以咁樣做咧？
Yeah, so you should. How many of you got a will? There's only 2 people. Yeah. Why are you keeping for what? You should go and start doing because you can die anytime.
咁個問題就係話有幾多人在座，幾多人有遺囑，咁得2個人有啫。咁 you have you have
I have.
咁有3個人有。咁大家其實可以諗一諗啦，點解而家唔寫咧？咁因為其實我哋隨時都可能離開我哋嘅身體。
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you saying like, one must offer everything to the Lord. How about, does ISKCON, would they, like if they are like in Hong Kong temple, can they ask like because sometimes you think like offering is difficult, but asking, like.
Yeah, you can. They can ask devotees or even congregation to write will to give to endowment to the deities. Yeah.
咁我可唔可以如果同佢問咧？咁可以嘅，我哋可以鼓勵。I think we can only encourage.
You can ask.
Yeah.
How about ask like directly? Can you offer like.
I mean, she's saying you cannot go and tell people, I want your life savings. You can't do that. What she's saying is true. You can say that we have such a service that people will write their will to the deities.
Okay.
Would you like to participate? Anyone wants to like?
There was this.
咁我哋唔可以即係話你一定要咁樣做啦，但可以鼓勵大家咁樣做。
Yeah, because even the life patron, I joined when I went to my because I never heard it here. Because I need to be asked. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm the.
咁可能有啲奉者未必知道啦，咁係需要人哋去問佢嘅。We are talking about will. Can I say something?
Yes.
Because I studied that actually. Actually, there's one charity in Hong Kong. Actually, they are lawyers. They can offer free service if you promise to give 10%, at least 10% to one charity. They can make the will for you free of charge, but you have to make an appointment. 咁喺香港有個條件，律師即係組成嘅。咁佢哋咧就係你可以免費同你留遺囑，但係咧你要喺個遺囑入邊，你一定要係最少10% 係俾一個認可嘅慈善機構。
ISKCON 係咪啊？
ISKCON, we haven't joined. I asked, but because they have a quite strict, yeah, they have some requirements. So at the end, I didn't. So I on behalf of ISKCON, I didn't join. 咁因為佢哋係如果你要係佢哋認可嘅慈善機構咧，係好多要求嘅，咁係要收啲費用嘅。咁所以到最尾我係 決定我覺得唔好搞啦嚇。
Mm-hmm.
咁但係如果大家有興趣咧，我可以俾呢個資料俾你。
Oh, thank you.
I mean, one of you can go and do a course, I think justice of peace, and then you can do the will for everyone.
咁我哋可以搞啲課程，邀請一個譬如太平紳士嚟到，可以同大家嚟中。
Yeah, you can do a standard will
Yeah.
format, and just people who want to do can
Yeah.
take the form and do it.
咁我有啲標準嘅格式啦，咁大家跟住嚟做就得，其實唔難嘅。
All right, number 19, one should pour water on the tulsi tree or tulsi plant.
咁第19就係我哋要為tulsi樹淋水。
How
Right.
often? Daily.
Daily you do that.
Thank you.
咁你可以每日咁做，but not
Morning.
the tulsi in the temple.
Mhm.
But not the tulsi in the temple. Actually, we have a notice ask people not to put water in the tulsi because too much water, the
Yes.
tulsi will die. At home you can.
Yeah, understand.
Come on.
Yeah, the toast.
我想補充少少嘢就係我哋喺廟堂嗰棵 tulsi 咧，就大家唔好淋水，因為如果唔係咧，個個人都淋嘅話就太多水，佢會死嘅嚇。咁我哋有專人阿賢會照顧佢嘅嚇。咁我哋屋企嗰棵可以淋。
Yes.
Okay.
And is it also only water them in the morning time, right? It's mentioned in the sastra. I heard something. Oh,
個問題係
You
係
can do
咪
evening
朝早可以淋
also.
水咧？
Nothing wrong. Even in evening is fine.
咁應該就唔係啦。Actually, there's a book on tulsi care.
Yeah.
You should get the book.
yes. I heard like morning time.
If you do tulsi arti in the evening, you can't
Yeah.
pour.
Yeah, that's it.
We also
It doesn't make sense.
On Sunday 5:30.
Because they said the principle is you should do in the morning.
Never heard of that. Maybe you check the manual and
Yeah,
see,
check
but
the
I don't
manual.
think so.
咁啊，係咪一定要上晝淋水咧？咁唔係100%肯定，因為我哋夜晚都會做 tulsi puja 㗎嘛。咁所以就最好就係揾翻嗰本手冊嚟到睇下。
Okay. All right.
Not
Yes.
directly related, but then because we're talking about tulsi, so because we make a tulsi garland and one devotee wants to take back to China, but then they said what to do with it, then can they eat the tulsi or
Yeah,
after they dry, what do they do with the
They can
tulsi?
eat. They
They
can
can
eat.
eat.
Yeah, they can eat.
So they can dry it and then eat the tulsi?
Yeah,
or the
why?
garland?
Yeah.
咁啊，頭先有份因為我哋整咗幾條 tulsi 嘅花環啦，咁啲就點樣自然就想拎翻去大陸。
Yeah, but it's yeah,
可唔可以食咧？咁係可以，即係佢乾咗，我哋可以食嘅。
yeah, but it's Mahaprashadam. You cannot offer it again.
咁但係呢個咧已經係供奉咗嘅 Mahaprasad，就唔可以再次供奉。
Okay. 20. One should associate with devotees who are considered more advanced.
咁第20咧就我哋要同嗰啲被視為係更加進步嘅奉獻者咧聯誼。
I think that's quite obvious, you know.
咁大家應該都好清楚啦，應該知道。
But mostly devotees will associate with people who are not so advanced.
咁但係奉獻者一般嚟講都會同冇咁進步嘅奉獻者聯誼嘅。
Maybe because they are afraid, or maybe because they don't want to be told what to do, right? They don't want to be corrected.
咁可能好多原因啦，可能佢哋有啲驚啦，亦都可能咧就係佢哋唔想咧人哋話俾佢聽咩嘢先係啱，應該做啲乜嘢。
21. One should not enter the temple with shoes.
咁啊唔應該係着住鞋進入廟堂。
But this is cleanliness, and if you wear shoes in front of deities, is disrespectful.
咁呢個係潔淨啦嚇。咁如果你喺神像面前着住鞋咧，呢個係對神像唔尊敬嘅。
Right? It's quite
嗯
straightforward. But in other countries, they may not understand that because they wear shoe everywhere.
咁喺其他國家咧，佢哋啲人未必會明白嘅，因為佢哋去到邊都着住對鞋，譬如入教堂一樣着住對鞋。
Yeah, like Bharti was saying, in church they wear shoes.
Temples,
Huh?
Buddhist temple.
And Buddhist temple.
教堂啦、佛廟啦，全部都係可以着鞋嘅。
Would we go so extreme that like suitcase with wheels that's been on the street, is that considered like shoes?
Like when the suitcase you enter the temple, you 係要
Like
要
can it
lift
be
it up。
stored in the temple,
Where?
like by the AV machine? Because it happened,
AV?
the recording machine, like in the temple.
Better not to.
Yeah, because it happened and I thought, no, don't do it, but
I mean, if people don't know, then you can nicely say.
咁所以如果係行李箧嘅，咁可能就唔好等喺廟堂入邊啦。
Sometimes devotees come, there's nobody in the temple, nobody to guide them, so they're afraid someone will take their suitcase, they will put it in there. So some flexibility.
但係有陣時係可能有啲人嚟到廟堂，冇人喺度，冇人喺度話俾佢聽啦，咁佢又驚，佢又睇住自己嘅行李，於是就拎咗入嘅會堂。
thank you.
22. One should not enter the temple without having washed one's hand and feet after eating.
咁一個人咧，如果食完嘢之後咧，就唔應該就咁行入廟堂嘅，佢必須咧就係要洗佢隻手同埋腳。
Obviously, washing feet is not so easy, but at least wash your hands and mouth properly.
咁當然啦，洗腳唔係咁容易，或者即係咁實際可以做到啦。咁但係起碼咧就係洗手同埋洗口嘅。
Yeah, if you want to wash your feet, you must have a proper place, or you go to the bathroom, wash your feet. It's possible,
Yeah.
but it's not
如
a
果洗腳
practice.
就比較困難啦，咁可能你有個即係比較好嘅地方啦，或者係廁所度咧去洗。
Just an experience. Like I never understood what wash your mouth, wash your mouth. It's always been said to me like rinse your mouth, but without explanation. So I never.
You still
knew.
don't know why you wash your mouth?
No. Basically.
When you were young and growing, your parents never told you to wash your mouth
brush your teeth.
after eating?
No, never.
No washing mouth before you brush?
No.
Really?
Like I mean, like what do you mean by rinse my mouth and
Yeah.
then brush my teeth?
Yeah,
Not-
but after eating, you don't
No.
rinse your mouth?
Never.
Well,
No, it's not a tradition.
okay, so it's
Yeah, I mean, like,
unfortunate,
it's
but
English, never did it.
well, I'm saying it's unfortunate, but now you know cleanliness.
Cleanliness.
Yeah.
咁點解我哋食完嘢之後要啷口咧？咁因為我哋嘅傳統係冇呢樣嘢嘅，冇教到呢樣嘢。咁呢個就係潔淨嘅一部分。
Yeah, so sometimes, just like you, there are many people who may have grown up in different situations where they don't have such rules. And so for them, this is like, wow, why? You know?
咁因為有啲好多人咧，佢哋長大嘅時候咧並冇接觸過呢啲嘅規矩嘅，咁所以就一睇見就會覺得咁奇怪嘅，點解呢啲嘢？
Yeah, like, I remember from young little kid, parents would say, wash your mouth, wash your hands, did you wash? Open your mouth, let me look.
That's for sure.
好細個已經記得咧，屋企人就會同佢講食完嘢之後咧要啷口啦，要洗手啦，咁甚至要打開即係擘大口俾佢睇下，啷得乾唔乾淨。
Yeah, then if not, they'll send you back, go wash again until you learn.
咁如果唔乾淨咧，就要再翻去再洗過，直至到你學識為止。
So basically, this is for the deity because we're in the temple.
No, I told you it's cleanliness.
Oh,
Yeah, it's also, if you're not clean, how can you come into the temple?
okay.
咁呢個
Right.
係潔淨啦嚇，咁即係話如果我哋唔乾淨，咁就唔好行入嚟廟堂。
Thank you.
It's both. It's not just only for the deity. Of
I
course,
understand.
deity you have to be
It's
clean.
Yes.
當然呢個唔係淨係神，可能你見神像要乾淨啦，咁亦都唔係淨係話因為神像嘅。
Let's say you eat and then you have to do deity worship, but you don't wash your mouth, but you take shower.
That doesn't make sense.
就好似你食完飯啦，跟住食完嘅同飯，你就沖涼，但係就唔啷口，
Are you clean? Are you clean?
咁你係咪乾淨咧？
Yes.
Yeah. You're not clean. Your mouth is dirty still.
你個口仍然係污糟嘅。
So always you have to, before you take shower, you have to rinse your mouth, you brush your teeth, everything before you take. So that must be
你應該要刷啷口先，然之後先沖涼。
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
cleanliness, yeah.
咁呢個係潔淨。
Okay. You can't go into even doing deity worship if you're not clean. So it's very
如果唔
important.
潔淨就唔可以做神像崇拜。
Okay, the next one is 23. One should not bow down on one hand.
唔可以單手咁樣咧係頂拜，
Everyone does this.
但係每一個人都咁樣做。
Sometimes we have a japamala and
So
the
what?
we can still
No,
keep
no,
going.
just put that.
No, it's okay. You can either put it up there, you can put the Javamala is already in a bag. So why you
So
be
we
make
can still.
yeah, that's why it's in a bag.
咁好多奉獻者就點解唔做就因為佢隻手揸住個念珠啦，咁但係念珠其實喺個念珠袋入邊嘅，咁所以就咩講，即係見到個地咧，其實都 OK 嘅。
Or some devotees will put it behind
Yeah.
and then they pay obeisance.
或者你將佢揈去後邊咯，然後先至頂拜。
The problem is because they are chanting halfway, so they don't want to let that go. But it doesn't count anyway.
咁但係最主要原因就係因為佢念咗一半啊，半個圈，我哋就唔想放棄呢個圈，於是就
No, you should take out your hand. All the points must touch the ground. Then it's considered proper. Otherwise, it's considered offensive to the deities.
咁咧，你所有嘅手背啊，即係手踭啊，都要掂到個地嘅。如果唔係咧，呢個咧就係視為一個冒犯，對神做嘅冒犯。
Yeah, it's not proper. You're not paying obeisances.
咁如果唔係嘅話，你就唔係正式係向神像頂拜。
Okay.
Amazing.
Right? Clear?
Yeah.
But I will still see this.
Yeah, I will not do
Yeah,
the same.
I will, where's my mouth?
I will not, because even in Gurdwara when we go, there's a tap there, we have to wash our feet, hands and our mouths before we go in, in the Gurdwara. You know,
In the
Sikh
temple, Sikh temple.
Yes, Sikh temple, they have a washing basin.
Yeah.
So why not here?
We don't have the
No,
facility to
yeah.
wash.
No, there's a bathroom,
But still, you would
It'll be
get
all
wet
wet,
all
yeah.
the-
Even hand washing
What
is
is like-
already.
Yeah, you'll get water everywhere. Then people fall down,
Yeah.
break the bone,
Yeah.
lawsuit. Yeah.
Yeah. 咁有啲譬如去洗黑廟咧，係要洗手洗腳嘅，好嚴格嘅。咁但係咁嚟呢度會可唔可以做咧？係非常之困難嘅，因為要廁所洗腳啦。咁但係跟住就會所有地方都會濕晒啦。咁於是就唔係好實際咯。
Right, so be very aware not to pay obeisance with one hand like that. It's not an obeisance.
大家就要注意，就唔好用單手嚟到去敬拜神像。
Okay. Right, 24. One should not circumambulate in front of Sri Krishna. Yeah, going around in front of Krishna.
Just turn circle。
Yeah, don't do circle in front of Krishna.
咁24就係唔好喺Krishna 面前咧轉圈。
Any reason?
Because you're only supposed to go around Krishna, not in front of him.
哦，OK，因為我哋咧係要表拜 Krishna，就唔係喺佢面前轉圈。
Right? We are supposed to go around Krishna, not in front of him.
咁我哋應該係圍住 Krishna 嚟去轉，就唔
Of
係
course.
喺佢前面轉圈。
But of course, we are dancing and all is different.
當然啦，即係有例外，譬如我哋跳一步咁嗰啲就唔算啦。
So you would have seen a video where Prabhupada, when he's going around, he's doing a pirouette. He goes around, then suddenly he turns around, and sometimes you see some devotees do that. Yeah. If the curtains are open, then you have to do that. If it's closed, then you don't have to.
咁我哋有時見到咧，包括咧有啲奉獻者就係佢哋轉圈，即係佢哋轉嘅時候就會即係佢哋行嘅時候就會喺神像面前就轉自轉嚇，咁樣再繼續行。咁當係神壇係開咗門嘅時候就係要咁做咯，但係神壇閂門嘅時候就唔使咁做。
Otherwise, like we cannot go around Tulsi because it's in front of Krishna. So when the curtain is closed, then you can do.
咁所以咧就點解我哋做當時嘅崇拜嘅時候咧，係神壇係閂門嘅，咁我哋就可以圍住當時轉圈啦。咁但係如果神壇開嘅時候咧就唔可以啦。That's why it's always closed.
When you do other pujas,
Yeah. 咁所以點解做當時 puja 嘅時候，永遠都係神壇都係閂。
Okay. One should not spread one's legs before the deity.
係啊，就係唔可以喺神像面前咧伸 隻腳出嚟，
This is disrespectful.
咁呢個係對神像唔尊敬。
It's quite straightforward. 26, one should not sit before the deity holding their ankles, elbows, or knees with one's hands. This is cleanliness.
咁咧就係當我哋坐喺神像前邊嘅時候，就唔應該用隻手捉住我哋嘅腳踭、手踭同埋膝頭哥。
One should not lie, one should spread leg before the deity. It means our deity is in this way. I should not. spread my
Anyway,
leg.
any direction.
Any direction.
Any-
咁呢個就唔係話即係話唔應該神像面前伸直隻腳出嚟，咁就唔係淨係話對住神像啦，而係任何方向都唔得。
Otherwise, it's disrespectful. I do not know. When we grow up, even with our parents, we cannot put our feet like that.
咁呢個係如果係即係舉隻腳出嚟就係對神像唔尊敬啦。咁舅父就係話佢細個嘅時候，甚至喺佢父母面前都唔可以咁做。
Sri Radhika Mataji told me not to even sit like that in front of Maharajas and.
Of course,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
That's
Correct.
disrespectful.
喺聖人啊，喺一啲資深控者面前都唔應該咁樣做。
Of course, if you get someone who's new, who doesn't know anything, and if they do that, don't jump on them.
當然啦，如果有啲好新嘅人嚟到，我哋乜都唔知嘅，你就唔好即刻走埋鬧。
You can quietly tell them that we respect the deities. One of the things we don't put our legs like that.
咁你可以
I hope you don't mind.
係啦，即係可以好禮貌咁同佢講啦。我哋就唔會喺神像面前伸隻腳出嚟啦。咁因為對神像唔係好尊敬，咁希望你唔好介意。
For us, sometimes we have long classes or long discourses in past. In those classes, sometimes we sit on
Blocks.
so.
Then stand up.
Yeah, I do very good.
咁舅父就話有陣時我哋上課好長嘅課，咁冇辦法，即係坐得好辛苦。咁其實最簡單嗰個就係企身。
Yeah, just stand up or go out, do whatever, but don't be disrespectful.
咁即係你可以起身啦，可以行出去啦，做你想做嘅嘢啦，但係就唔好對神像唔尊敬。
Okay,
Is
so
that only when the altar is open? How about closed?
well then Prabhupada is there, right?
Yeah. 咁我問就係咪神像開咗門嘅時候，我哋先要咁做咧？咁但係神像雖然係閂咗門啦，咁但係泡泡仲唔睬嘅。
Yeah, so if you give people the ability to do it, then they will not follow any rules.
咁如果我哋容許人咁樣做嘅話，佢哋就所有規範即係守則都唔會遵守噶啦。
Okay. 27, one should not lie down before the deity
咁第27就係我哋唔可以喺神像面前咧瞓低。
unless you're paying obeisance.
咁除非就係你敬拜緊神像。
Otherwise, you don't lie down and sleep or
咁就如果唔係咧，就唔好瞓喺度瞓覺。
yeah.
Talking about doing the obeisances, how come women cannot, because when I first came, I did, and I was told not to.
Yeah.
咁問題就係女性就唔應該五體投地咁樣頂拜，咁點解咧？
Yeah, there's a Shastric injunction
咁呢個係經典入邊有講嘅。
that the woman shouldn't do obeisance like that because Mother Earth, she doesn't want the ladies to do obeisance.
咁經典入邊講咧就係因為地球母親咧唔想女性咁樣咁樣去頂拜佢，咁所以咧就女性就唔會五體投地咁樣頂拜。
At least that's what I've heard. Yeah. So why do you? It's much easier to do the.
咁亦都唔需要啦，因為即係我哋平時嗰種頂拜嘅仲要
Yeah,
做。
okay, thank you.
Okay, don't lie down before the deity. 28, one should not accept prasadam before the deity.
第28就係唔好喺神像面前接受 prasadam。
Normally, if you take prasad, you close the curtain.
咁所以一般嚟講，如果我哋榮耀祭魚嘅時候，我哋就會閂咗個神壇。
Because your mouth is very unclean and you're taking prasad.
因為我哋個口唔乾淨咯，即係我哋食緊 prasad，我哋榮耀緊 prasad 咯，我哋嘅口就唔乾淨嘅。
So
Okay.
here, except is honoring prasad.
問題。
我想問咧，咁如果我哋問夜晚供奉夜晚做 RT 嘅時候咧，佢咪會派一啲公事俾我哋嘅，咁跟住咧就派喺神像未閂門之前就派，咁我哋就即刻擺喺個口度。
個問題就係話夜晚我哋做完最後黃昏嘅 RT 嘅時候，咁我哋會神像嘅 toast 我哋會拎出嚟嘅，跟住就派俾大家，我哋就會喺上面食，咁得唔得咧？The question is when we after the evening RT, we'll take the toasty from the deities of lotus feet and then we'll honor in front of deities. Is it okay?
Ideally not.
咁最理想係唔好嘅。
You should go outside and
如果可以就係出外邊食咯。
same in the morning also, like Chanamrita and all. Like we are not facing the deity when we are taking.
咁就好似朝頭早嘅神像冇落過水一樣咯。通常我飲嘅時候就唔會望住神，即係背住神像咁樣。
Okay. 29. One should not speak a lie before the deity.
咁29就係唔好喺神像面前講大話。
Right? Don't speak make up stories or be untruthful. Yeah.
咁唔好喺神像面前就係作古仔啦，唔誠實。
Or say something bad about someone
或者
else.
講人哋嘅壞話，
Or become offensive.
或者
Yeah.
係冒犯其他人。
But then it doesn't mean you can speak a lie in another room.
但係咧就唔代表你可以喺另外一間房，即係唔喺神像面前就可以講大話。
You may laugh, but there was one manager who told he was saying something to one of his devotees. The manager was saying, and then the devotee said, you can't speak in front of the deities. No, it was outside. They were speaking. Then the devotee said, we cannot speak a lie. And then he said, as long as we are not in front of the deities, it's okay.
我記得就喺度講啲嘢啦，跟住點解其他朋友就話你唔可以講大話嘅喎，跟住另外一個人就話只要我哋唔喺神像面前講大話就得㗎啦。
Yeah, that devotee came and asked me, this is what the manager said. I said, no, this is wrong.
咁於是有人走去問下哥係咪真㗎？咁樣呢個話唔係，梗唔係啦嚇。
Yeah, so don't speak a lie. Actually, you shouldn't say any lie, even if it's a pleasant lie.
就算係一個美麗嘅謊言都唔應該講。
Yeah. Yes.
Similar question which he asked during the Shringarati, we take Charanamrita.
I just said that already. You don't show you're taking away from the Lord. Yeah.
即係我哋如果係飲香檳嘅時候，就擰一擰名面。
You're supposed to take in the corner. Yeah.
好對住神像咁飲。
Yeah, the temple is so small. What to do?
我哋表堂咁細，冇乜嘢可以做。And we have so many mirrors around.
Yeah.
我哋嘅表堂實在太細，同埋我哋好多鏡嘅，所以基本上你去到邊都睇到。
Yeah. This temple is reminding you that no matter what you do, the Lord can see.
呢個表堂係提醒你，無論喺任何一個角落，你係做啲咩咧，即係你都會睇到。
The walls and eyes.
地方你
You cannot cheat him. Yeah.
你唔可以呃佢。
Okay. Number 30. One should not talk very loudly before the deity.
咁第30就係喺神像面前唔可以好大聲咁樣講嘢。
Everybody talks very loudly before.
咁但係咧，其實好多人都好大聲講嘢。
Yeah, but generally, if you want to talk, it should be related to the service or the deities.
咁如果係你要講嘢嘅話咧，呢個咧係應該係同神像係或者係同服務有關嘅嘢。
Yeah, but anything else you should go outside the
嗯
temples.
咁如果係其他所有嘢咧，你想講其他所有唔係呢啲嘅嘢咧，你都要行離開廟堂先講。
And it's connected to 31 also.
Mm.
Yeah. One should not talk with others before the deity.
咁第三就係話唔可以喺神像面前同其他人交談。
Yeah. If you're not talking or glorifying the Supreme Lord, then you shouldn't talk.
咁如果你唔係榮耀至尊主嘅話咧，你就唔應該講嘢啦。
Okay. 32, one should not cry or howl before the deity.
咁咧就唔應該喺神像面前喊咯，或者係喺度叫。
Yeah, when unfortunately, if you're really hurt and, if, let's say someone dear to you died, you come before the deity, you will cry.
咁但係有陣時如果你受好大嘅傷害，譬如你好親嘅人離世啦，咁你見到神像你就會喊。
Because when you are in front of the deity, you're supposed to be happy.
咁因為我哋見到神像嘅時候，我哋應該開心嘅，
You're supposed to be joyful to see the deity.
因為我哋應該見到神像嘅時候，我哋係會感到開心喜悅。
You're supposed to be happy to see the deity.
因為我哋可以見到神像多，我哋應該開心。
But unfortunately, if you have someone who died in your family or something terrible happened, then you cannot control your emotion. You want to talk to the deities, but you cry.
咁但係有陣時我哋對我哋屋企至親離世啦，咁我哋好想同神像講，咁我哋再見到神像嘅時候，我哋就會喊。
What to do? So it's between that person and the deity.
咁呢個點樣做咧？呢個就係呢個人同埋神像之間嘅要處理嘅嘢。
But sometimes out of bow also, you come in really happy and then you're looking in them and then your tears rolling down.
Tears rolling is not crying.
咁而家有啲人喜極而泣啊，即係太開心啦，見到神像，跟住就流眼淚。咁呢個就唔係我哋平時講嘅哭泣喎。
This crying and howling is in pain.
咁因為講緊呢個喺度叫啊喊啊，呢啲係當你係痛苦嘅時候做嘅嘢。
If you have tears of joy, that's different.
咁如果係因為你開心而流淚，呢個係唔一樣嘅。
Yeah. Okay.
哼
33. One should not quarrel, fight, or chastise anyone before the deity.
咁就唔可以喺神像面前爭吵啦、毆鬥或者責備其他人。
Yeah, except for spiritual master chastising, because he's trying to correct the disciples or authority chastising someone.
咁除咗咧就係定聖導師責備佢嘅門徒啦，或者係權威去指正責備一啲人啦。咁因為佢係想去糾正其他人嘅錯誤。
Yeah, you shouldn't fight or quarrel. This is a mode of ignorance and passion.
咁唔應該去爭論啦，亦都係打鬥啦，因為呢啲係激情同埋怨恨屬性嘅行為。
The deities are happy to see everyone friendly and loving, not fighting.
咁神像係好見到所有人都係能夠好和睦咁相處咧，係會好開心。
So it doesn't matter actually. Even if you're fighting in the kitchen, it's still the deity's territory.
咁所以咧，就算你唔喺神像面前喺廚房嗰度打交咧，或者嘈咧，其實都係一樣嘅，因為呢個都係神像管轄嘅範圍。
So next time you want to fight or quarrel, you say, "Are you fighting or quarreling?" Then you go outside, take the lift, go downstairs.
咁啊，如果你想同人嗌交或者係打鬥嘅時
You
候，
forget about the fight by the buffet.
咁樣就你可以搭嗰啲落去下邊，跟住就慢慢嘈喺度。
And then after that you can come back.
鬧完之後就翻嚟咧。
Yeah. So these are not accepted. The deity will not be happy if you quarrel, fight, or chastise each other.
因為如果你同其他人爭吵啦、打鬥啦，或者責備其他人咧，神像就會唔開心。
Okay. And number 34, one should not wear a fur blanket before the deity.
咁咧第34就係唔應該咧係披呢個毛皮氈嚇喺神像面前。
Like the Siberian downstairs.
係啦，就好似下邊西伯利亞皮草，
Yeah. So you can't wear those clothing in front of it.
你唔可以即係着嗰間公司嘅衫上嚟喺神像面前。
Normal blanket is okay. Fur and fur, comma blanket, not blanket, it's fur blanket.
Fur blanket, yeah.
即係皮
It's fur
皮
blanket.
草啊，
It's those animal things. It's not wool. We're not talking about wool
我
or
唔係
silk.
講羊毛或者絲啦，而係皮草，動物嘅皮。
Okay, 35. One should not praise anyone else before the deity.
咁就唔好喺神像面前咧係讚其他人。
In general, only the deities are supposed to be praised.
咁一般嚟講咧就係、我哋淨係會稱讚神像。
But sometimes the spiritual master may praise, or for whatever reason you want to award somebody something, you may praise. But in general, we should keep that to a very, very minimum. Yeah.
咁當然啦，有啲例外嘅情況，譬如靈性導師佢想去讚一個人啦，咁但係一般嚟講應該係將呢樣嘢係即係盡量減少。
Okay. 36. One should not sit with one's back towards the deity. This is offensive.
咁樣人唔應該背住神像嚟去坐，呢個係一個冒犯嚟嘅，
It's disrespectful also.
唔尊重神像。
Sometimes new people don't know, so we can guide them. You can turn it off if you want. Um, 37. One should not offer obeisances silently to the spiritual master, or in other words, one should recite aloud the prayers to the spiritual master while offering obeisances.
應該咧係當頂拜靈性導師嘅時候咧，就係我都唔知點嘅喺靈性導師頂禮嘅時候唔可以默言，或者喺頂拜或應該或者講咧，就喺頂拜嘅時候應該係高聲念誦禱文。
But it doesn't mean you are so loud, that other people get disturbed.
咁但係當然唔係話你好大聲咁講啦，然之後會騷擾其他人。
Loud enough for yourself to hear.
咁咧係要大聲，就係個聲音就係你自己可以聽到嘅。
Not silent, like you don't even mention the spiritual master's names.
咁就但係就唔係應該係冇聲，甚至連你靈性導師個名都聽唔到。
Like if you're in a room with meeting the spiritual master, at least the spiritual master should hear whose name you are chanting.
咁譬如好似你間房度見靈性導師啦，咁起碼呢個靈性導師要聽到你係念緊佢個名。
Yeah, you could be just saying la 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 la. Right.
你可以求其念啲嘢出嚟都得㗎嘛。
Yeah, so maybe you forgot how to say the obeisance phrase.
或者你唔記得點樣去頂拜你嘅靈性導師。
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. I wasn't told.
Okay,
I
so
can go on the list as well.
yes.
Thank you.
You write everything you don't know, then present it to the
Yeah,
management
yeah.
and see how they will
The two, yes.
train
thank
you.
Actually, all these were mentioned in the previous introductory course. Yeah, I taught. That's why I remember I taught.
Yes, but I
everything.
don't get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but we taught actually.
Okay, yeah, but anyway, you need refresher.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah. Okay, 38. One should not fail to offer some praise in the presence of the spiritual
第
master.
38就係喺靈性導師面前唔可以忘記讚頌之禮，咩叫讚頌之禮？Offer some praise，温泉咯。Fail，offer some praise。
Srila Prabhupada or your spiritual master?
咁即係我哋要喺靈性
Guru, you want to.
面前，我哋要讚美我哋嘅靈性導師。
Generally, we say Jai Srila Prabhupada. That's like, praising.
啲讚美讚。
Jai Gurudev. Oh, Gurudev, so nice to see you. Oh, Gurudev, why did you come so quickly?
咁即係我哋話咁歡迎你嚟啊！
Right.
多謝你嚟啊！
Oh, we missed you. Yeah.
或者我哋好
Yeah,
掛住你。
something, yeah, praised. Yeah. Yeah, and then 39, one should not praise himself before the spiritual master.
38就唔應該喺靈性導師面前咧讚自己。
Oh, Guru Maharaj, I did this, I did that, I distributed so many books, I'm so good, you know.
都會同你夫人講啦，我做呢樣做嗰樣，我賺咗咁多書，我非常之叻。
Yeah, that's not. The spiritual master can praise the disciple, but the disciple shouldn't go and sell himself. This is not sales. Yeah.
咁靈通導師可以稱讚佢嘅門徒啦，但係門徒就唔應該嚟聖導師面前咧吹銷自己。
All right, and the last one should not deride the demigods before the deity.
咁就最尾就係唔可以喺神像面前咧係詆毀半神人。
That means you don't speak less of the demigods before the deities.
咁即係話我哋唔可以咧係貶低喺神像面前貶低半神人。
Okay. All right, so that's all of this etiquette in the temple room. They are from Nectar of Devotion, chapter 6 and chapter 8.
咁呢個咧就喺奉愛積金錄入邊抽出嚟嘅神像房嘅禮儀啦。咁係奉愛積金錄第6章同第8章。
Okay, so we will continue on
Friday.
the remaining part of lesson 13.
咁我哋星期五就繼續
Any
堂
yeah.
未講完嘅課。
Any other comments?
Yes.
We should be able to finish.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Krishna, may I ask a question?
Okay.
Also maybe a comment first regarding what Leena Mataji asked about why women don't offer food.
Yeah.
I heard it before that women's chest and abdomen not supposed to touch the floor.
Yes, I didn't want to say that.
I'm a woman, so I can say it, Prabhu.
Yeah, you go ahead.
So
But that's what the Bhumi Devi didn't want.
yes.
Okay, you go
之前嘅問題就係點解我哋女性唔可以咁喺頭勢咁樣頂擺啦？咁就係女性個胸口同埋個肚腹係唔應該掂到個地嘅，即係個原因就係呢個亦都係最求母身你唔想女性做嘅嘢。
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all I had to say about that point. But I wanted to ask if you could please elaborate regarding when we sit when we sit down in the temple room, we are supposed to be using the cushions or the mats for sitting down and not sitting directly on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So many devotees don't observe that. So could you please elaborate on this, the reason for this and why we should do it?
個問題就係話，問題就係當我哋坐喺廟堂嘅時候咧，你應該咧坐喺啲 cushion 啲墊上面嘅，就唔應該直接坐喺個地上面嘅。咁個原因係咩咧？
Okay, in general, when we sit down anywhere, we are supposed to sit on a seat or an asana.
咁即係話一般嚟講咧，當我哋坐低嘅時候咧，我哋應該坐喺一個 asana，即係一個座位上面。
That also is both cleanliness and being respectful to the deities or a senior Vaishnava or a sage.
咁呢個咧亦都係對即係當然第一方面就係清潔啦，另一方面咧就係亦都係對神像啦、資深奉獻者啦、聖人咧嘅尊重。
It is said that if you don't, like for example in front of the deities, it's considered offensive also.
If we don't sit on a
Asana, yeah, cushion. Yeah.
咁如果我哋喺神像面前，如果我哋唔喺個 cushion 呢個墊上面咧，呢個咧係可以被視為一個冒犯。
Because the temple room itself is an extension of the Lord Balaram or his energy, so we don't sit with our bare butt on the floor.
咁因為咧廟堂咧係被視為 Balaram 嘅一個佢嘅用具嘅擴展。咁所以咧，我哋唔應該直接係將我哋嘅身體收喺佢嘅即係呢個擴展上邊。
Of course, you can sit in Vajra Asana. Means you have your
knees.
you
The
bend
Japanese pose.
the Japanese pose. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
係好似英雄式嘅，即係日本人跪喺度咁樣坐。
But in any case, the etiquette is to have an asan,
Mm.
and you should say there is sufficient asans.
Yeah, if it's not enough.
Yeah, if it's not enough, then what to do? Yeah.
咁個底語就係話應該我哋係坐喺一個座位，即係個譬如一箭啊上面嘅。咁但係有陣時冇辦法啦，譬如唔夠坐箭咁都冇辦法嚇。
Okay. Do you have anything to add?
No, Prabhu, I wanted you to just clarify because I noticed many devotees don't use any
Yeah.
asana, so
Yeah.
wanted you to
I think
elaborate.
generally what happens is in the earlier when they first come in, they are taught, and then later on, because they don't see those examples, they also forget.
咁好多時開頭嘅時候，佢一個人嚟到咁啊，見到啲人咁做啦，於是佢就跟住做。咁但係之後慢慢佢就見好多人都冇跟喎，於是佢就冇做。Actually, when we go to the holy dam in India,
Too many people.
and no cushion, nothing.
Yeah.
So even
It's wrong.
Yeah, we just everyone sit on the
No,
floor.
actually they do. They bring out.
But when we go into tent during Prasadam, yes.
No,
But
even during Japa time and all, they do bring out Mayapur. I have seen it when I was there.
In some like when we go for Parikrama, we go to the more traditional Indian temple. Never anything on the
You
floor.
just say.
咁我有觀察到就係當譬如我去聖地嘅時候，譬如喺高吉拉喺面打群，咁佢出邊嗰啲廟喺 ISKCON 係有嘅，但係出邊嘅廟咧好多係咩都冇嘅，即係大部分就咁坐喺地上面。
Yeah, you're right, but you also have to understand now, many of the things over the years have been kind of watered down because of poverty or because they don't follow traditions and so.
咁係真嘅，咁但係好多時係因為可能我哋冇錢啦，或者即係咁多年啦，根本我哋好多廟堂都冇話好認真咁樣跟足晒呢一啲嘅規矩嚟做。
Yeah, I remember also when they had the temple opening here in 1987 when we were at that time Durashaya Prabhu had thrown away some of the cushions. And then Tamakrishna Maharaj was asking, where's the old cushions? He said, I've thrown it away. And then there were so many people didn't have asans to sit, and so he would chastise him.
咁就係當呢間廟啱啱開幕嘅時候
Remember?
87年嘅時候，咁咧就係有Padmamaji husband. Yes.
No, yeah, now, but not
Now,
before.
now current husband. 咁咧就係
The temple
幾
president.
多個宋姐啦，佢就係廟長嚟嘅，咁佢就將啲舊嗰啲高上嗰啲箭咧全部掉晒，咁咧跟住咧就咁但係於是好多賓客嚟到咧就冇 cushion 坐，於是咧就Tamakrishna Goswami 就鬧佢啦，即係話點解你將啲 cushion 掉晒啊？令到即係人冇得坐咁。
Yeah, that was in the old building there, downtown. What's that place? Huh? Homanti, yeah, we were there.
舊即係中心喺旁邊。
Yeah.
I've been to Baltimore Temple also, they didn't have
Nothing.
Yeah, like I said, everybody is so used to not putting asanas.
There's no cushion.
Yeah.
就算喺面單行個廟咧，其實都冇 cushion。
New Vrindavan also, no cushions.
Old and new, yeah.
Also, I have one question. Are we supposed not to offer obeisances to the spiritual master in front of the deity?
Okay, yeah, one
咁咧就係我問題就係咪我哋喺神像面前係唔應該頂拜靈性導師？
according to Shastra, and Prabhupada also writes it in many places in Bhagavatam and so on. Yes, you are not supposed to pay obeisances when the curtains are open to your spiritual master.
咁所以咧喺好多經典啦，同埋聖花花亦都喺佢嘅即係要旨入邊咧，係好多次咧都有講到咧，就係當神像係打開，即係個簾係開咗嘅時候咧，我哋唔應該係頂拜我哋嘅靈性導師。
Yeah. So I've seen in many places they do it, and many spiritual masters don't correct the disciples, or they've been correcting so often and they keep doing it what to do. Like.
咁所以但係我都見過就係個現象就係好多時如果門徒咁樣做咧，靈性導師係冇去糾正佢哋啦。 或者係個靈性導師已經糾正咗好多次，但係啲門徒仍然繼續咁樣做。
Yeah. Yeah. So you
But we
don't.
can do the Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, Prabhupada is the only person.
Yeah，咁但係除咗係拋不，我哋可以咁樣做。
For example, for some devotees giving us a sitting on this Vyasa, they come to the temple, the temple release and the class because then the year is over, then the devotee pay obeisance to the speaker on the Vyasa. So is that
Yeah.
do that?
Yes, they can because he's representing Vyasadeva.
咁個問題就係、當譬如神像打開門啦，咁啊跟住有個講者喺度講，坐喺個 rehearsal 站上面講緊課啦。咁當我哋都可以讀嘅啦。咁當我哋頂拜咁我哋見到即係個講者嘅時候，我哋就會頂拜個講者，咁得唔得咧？咁係可以嘅，因為個講者咧佢係代表緊 rehearsal 啊，佢坐喺個 rehearsal 站上面去代表 rehearsal 去講課，咁所以係可以嘅。
Okay 啦。
And also we shouldn't pay obeisances to the spiritual master while we are taking prasadam.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you are unclean.
Yeah. 咁所以同樣地，當我哋係榮耀緊祭祀嘅時候咧，我哋係唔應該頂拜靈性導師，因為我哋唔乾淨。
You don't pay obeisance to anyone
係所有人
when
都
you are taking prasadam.
當你榮耀緊祭嘅時候，係所有人都唔應該頂拜。
You can acknowledge their presence, and then later on, after washing your hands, mouth, then you can come and pay obeisance.
咁你可以即係話俾佢聽，我知道你喺度啦，嚟咗啦。咁當你食完榮耀完祭完之後，你清潔咗啦，洗咗口啦，洗咗啷口啦，你就再去頂拜啦。
All right.